Hello, and welcome to another coding stream with Ectric. My name is Ectric, and we are here in yet another stream where we will be today working on a program that I've been working on for a little bit now. It is an updated timestamp program. Now, I have, for the entire time I've been doing YouTube, I've used the same program that I created maybe 6 years ago at this point. It's a tiny little program. I have it right here. It is currently running because I use it every stream. Basically, it takes a save folder and a file name. This one I'm using is code 4 because it's coding stream, and it's the fourth one we've done. And it essentially, you click start, which it says now resume, but you click start, and it starts a timer. And every time it reads a set of specific shortcut keys from like keystrokes, it essentially just notes something that happens. So, for example, the H button on the keyboard shows hello. So it will print, whoops, if you're not in one of the text boxes, that is, it will print hello. See? So it puts the current time that keystroke was read at, plus a preset message for what the H button means. So H is hello, C is curse. I used to use this a lot when I was doing videos and really needed to know when the curses happened so I could bleep them out. So I have some, kind of almost like obsolete ones that I don't use anymore. Honestly, really the only ones I use are hello and possible intro moment, which kind of marks when there's something like a clip that could happen that could get turned into a short or something like that. But I also have like, cut in, cut out for when I would like cut stuff from videos or something like that. Like I had to cut out a section because I was like, going to check something, or there was like technical difficulty, or if I like had to call for something like that, stupid stuff like that when you're recording videos, which I haven't had to use for a while because I stream and don't cut anything out. But yeah, so basically, I have a bunch of preset shortcut keys, and it essentially reads every single keystroke I make, and anytime it recognizes one that has a shortcut that I defined, it will say, okay, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the current time on the timer. I will put that message next to it, and then I will print that to the text file in the save folder with the file name entered. And now if you were to go into the folder that I did, which I can pull up on the side, it's a bit of a pain to get it to show up on the screen, so I'll just do it off to the side, but there's a code 4 text file that if you open up, I will pull that one up front. That's the one. If you pull this up front, it has all of those timestamps. It saves it to a text file. So we had all those hello. I did 2 hellos that are actually useful for me in the beginning of the stream, and then the hello, the curse, the hello, possible intro moment, cut in, cut out. I just typed all of those, and it has the timestamps, and I use these text files to basically let me know, okay, here's where the interesting bits were, so I can go pull those out for shorts and stuff like that. It's very, very useful. It has worked flawlessly, essentially, for the entire time I've done the channel. I also have the option to mute timestamps, so now I'm pressing the N button, but no timestamps are getting added. There's a timestamp count in the bottom left corner. It's not updating even though I'm pressing the N button over and over again because they're muted. I click that again, and now it works. It works really well. I can also log custom timestamps. This is a custom timestamp. And even though I typed the I and the O buttons, which are cut in and cut out respectively, they don't come up in here because I'm in a text box on this window. So it ignores any keystrokes when it's in a text box. But if I click log custom timestamp, now you have that timestamp and it types whatever message is in the text box. All of this works really well. I want to keep that in the new version. But it is very, very... Oh my goodness, Ash, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Congratulations, Nate Fate 24. You are now a member of the channel and have access to custom emotes. Thank you so much, Ash, for the constant generosity. I truly, truly appreciate it. Let's get some hype in the chat for Ash. Crunchy, thank you so much for plugging the link and welcome in, as well as King Capybara and Luigi Dragon. Thank you so much for joining. Gonna be lurking more tonight. Brain doesn't understand coding, but I'm here to support. No problem. I really appreciate you just hanging. It's gonna be a chill vibe anyway. I'm gonna be chatting with chat and just doing some coding. I'm late. What are we doing? I just got started, so you're not too late, and I feel like the description's good enough. I think you got enough of it. Feels like I've been in a lot of streams lately, but then again, there wasn't much streams. Yeah, I with Thanksgiving and stuff like that, there was a couple of long gaps where I didn't stream, so you know, that's okay. Sounds all good to me. Yeah. This program works like a charm. The main problem with it is it does one thing, and if you're a seasoned coder like me, you'll know that all the best programs do one thing really well, and all the terrible programs try to do 30 million things and do none of them correctly. So I'm trying to create one of those latter versions. I can't read, you should know that. Oh, my bad. But yeah, so basically, I have this program that reads my keystrokes and writes timestamps, but there are other functions where I want to have keystrokes mean something. So whenever I am doing a shiny hunting stream, for example, I will have a counter program that again reads my keystrokes and essentially will increment a number in a text file so that it will... Welcome to the stream, Dazzling. Those are so loud, oh my god. But yeah, so basically I have other programs that also read keystrokes, but I have to have them on separate windows in separate apps running at the same time, and I only have 2 monitors that can be attached to my computer at any one time. So I have limited desktop space, and when I'm like recording this or recording any game that's on my computer, one of those screens is basically almost completely taken up by the game itself. I can throw like my stats about the stream underneath it, and maybe the text, the chat on the side. But other than that, I'm not able to really do anything about having the I can't have most of my things on my bottom screen. So basically everything else gets thrown on the top, which includes OBS, and then on top of it I put anything else that I need, which is kind of annoying when I have like 3 different apps all running at the same time, trying to that I need to have open to make sure that they're working. So I want to try and consolidate them. Snapplecat fact check, you got it. The description doesn't help, my bad. Solo, welcome to the stream. My Spotify Wrapped is so cursed. What? How so? Snapplecat fact is lobsters can live up to 50 years. That's cool. Any plans on getting the losing horn sound effect this stream, or do you have to do it off screen? I do not have to do it off screen. I can do that at some point. I do want to get through the explanation of what we're doing here today first, but then I can do that. This is probably the best stream to do it in. My most played song is a Genshin fan song at 142 times. Nice. No! The sound effect is very fitting. Solo looking at his Spotify Wrapped. But yeah, so basically the only problem with this program is it doesn't do everything that I needed to do. There are a bunch of different functions I want to have it do. and it currently only does the one. So I want to try and create a program that includes this functionality, includes all of the, writing to a text file, has the timer going on, displays the timestamps on the screen and the count of the timestamps, but it also will allow me to, read other things. The other thing is I want to try and come up with a way that I can not have each timestamp be, or not each time, each keyboard button press be anything on the keyboard, because obviously if I'm ever like typing something out in chat, or if I'm like playing like Infinite Craft and I'm typing and stuff like that, it will read anytime I press the N key or the H key or the I key or the O key. It doesn't know the difference of when I mean it to be a timestamp versus when I'm just typing, unless I press the mute timestamps button, which is kind of annoying to have to constantly toggle back and forth. So I want to try and limit it so that it is always it's only on a certain subset of keys, and I've done that for my OBS scenes. I have keyboard shortcuts for OBS scenes, and I keep them all to my numpad. And whenever I need to type a number, I just type the numbers up top rather than on the numpad, and that way I don't have to worry about accidentally switching to, the Pokemon Violet screen. So I want to create the original idea was to use the barcode scanner that I have, which got moved somewhere. I don't remember where I put it. But I have a barcode scanner, and essentially my goal was to, make each barcode code the keyboard press. Essentially, it would basically read all of the keys coming in, and it would wait until the specific barcode was typed in order to trigger whatever effect I was looking to have. But that was taking too long, and also it seems kind of annoying to have a huge binder of barcodes just sitting out and then like memorize which one is where and stuff like that. So I kind of switched over to a new idea, which I will show you now, and it's to use just the numpad like I do on for the OBS scenes, but have it be so that I can have different menus, and then like they could be nested within each other. So like you have a main menu, and let's say the one button is for all timestamps, and if I would press 1, it would switch to the timestamp menu, and then from there you could have 10 different timestamps. So 0 could be, an intro moment or something like that, and 1 could be hello or something like that. So the goal is to eventually create a program that allows me to have that menu system, rather than just saying, okay, anytime someone types an N, put this timestamp. It is convoluted, but it seems to be the best option for me, especially because one of the things I want to use this for is running custom Python programs that can change my OBS scenes. So that let me real quick pull up the plan for today. Let's see. So plan is to use a keypad. Also, let me check chat real quick. Lobsters can actually live to 100. Oh damn, did not know that. So the worst part, my YouTube music Wrapped is way worse. Oh god. Animal Nerd was awakened at the mention of lobsters. I also enjoy some animal facts, so I'm down for it. In a few days, I'll be bringing some of my old Pokemon into Paldea finally. Be ready to see some of my favorites of the past. Nice! My YouTube music is cursed with edge. How so? YouTube Music Wrapped has had Poker Face by Weird Al Yankovic. Oh, that's nice. I like that song. My top song there, while being at less total plays, 69 Nice. I've only known about the song for a month and a half. If I had a whole year, it'd be at 300 most likely. Dang, what song? Arksky, welcome to the stream. Good to have you in. I'm still confused. It's hard to explain. Um, it's a bit of a convoluted program, and I'm not going to finish it today. I already have put a decent amount of work into it. It's going to be this one's going to be a lot harder to like explain what I'm doing because it's a lot more convoluted. The exact song is the reason it's worse. Oh boy. But yeah, so trying to explain it. You have the keypad. You have the zero. You have 10 buttons that you can press. It's the English cover of Rabbit Hole. If you know, you know. I don't, so no judgment from me. But yeah, so essentially you have the keypad, and you can either have a menu. Well, you start off with a menu. They have 10 buttons total, the numpad, and each button can correspond to either another menu or an entry. So another menu would be, it'd be like if you have like the main menu has 10 buttons. Let's say button 1 corresponds to the timestamp button, or to the timestamp menu. And then from there, it will open up the timestamp menu, and that will have up to 10 entries that allow you to do various timestamps and stuff like that. Or maybe there's the number 2 button on the main menu is OBS commands and stuff like that. And then you could have OBS commands menu having OBS switch scenes commands and OBS toggle mutes or something like that. Like there's a bunch of stuff you can do in OBS. So maybe you have even more sub-menus in OBS or something like that. So basically you can go as many levels deep as you want with menuing. And each time you press the button, it either goes to a new menu or it does a command, because the other option is an entry. So an entry is any command, and it could be a timestamp, it could be a counter increment, it could be an OBS command. I also want to basically do all of these as possible options. So obviously timestamps need to be included because it needs to do what the original timestamp program did. Counters, so anytime I have like a number of shiny screen count on the screen or a number of deaths or something like that, I can basically have a timer or have a button that allows me to increment the number of that counter, basically update the number in a text file, which then is read by OBS and updated on the screen. I eventually want to introduce some sort of like soundboard almost, where I can play like a sound effect by pressing one of these keys, or background music play at the same time. You could do that as well. OBS commands I've been talking about, and then command line, which would basically allow me to do pretty much anything else. So I could run Python programs like the Madlib one. I could switch the file that is read by the card flipper so that I display the card flip in like the Malloc. Basically, I could do anything I want with the command line, and this would make it very, very versatile. I would just have to create some sort of program that could be run in the command line, and then I could immediately turn it into something that I could run through this program by pressing a button. So basically, I want to make this as versatile as possible, be able to do as many things as possible, and also still have the timestamp functionality. So I want to have it so that it still has the timer, and then running in the background, it would basically, anytime there's a timestamp, it would write the timestamp to the timestamp file, just like we have for the timestamp program. I also want it so that anytime any command at all is run, it will write that to a command log file, basically, so that I have essentially the timestamp file, but for every single command, rather than just timestamps, so that I can, have a log of everything I did during the stream. I'm not sure if it'll be useful for me, but I like to have more data rather than less. I reread my Weird Al message. I forgot to say that Pokeface was number 1. Followed closely behind it was Welcome to the Internet by Boviner. Oh, you got some good music on there. I love me some Weird Al for sure. Poker Face is probably not my favorite, but I do like that one a lot. Welcome to the Internet is incredible. Although I really, really like, I really like Welcome to the Internet. Trying to think of which one of is my favorite from Inside. The way the world works is my favorite from that one with Sako. It's so good. But yeah, I have a decent number of songs on here as well that I need to check my YouTube Wrapped. My top song is Uncanny X Death Body. By title alone, you can probably see the edge. Hey, listen. If you enjoy the music, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if it's edgy. Easiest way to describe it is incredibly horny. Ah, I see. My number one artist for my Spotify Wrapped was NWA. Nice. Joe, welcome to the stream. Thoughts on Chugga Conroy and or Arcade Matt? Never watched either of them, so no thoughts. But yeah. I'm listening to any other song by Bo Burnham, but I just love Welcome to the Internet so much. It's really good. It's a really good one. I would highly recommend watching more Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is awesome. Let me see if I can't figure out how to find my YouTube Wrapped. I'm gonna look at it on my personal account rather than my stream one, rather than the Ectric one. So, let's see. How do you see what your YouTube Wrapped is? See, I'm gonna mute the timestamps because I'm gonna type something. YouTube Wrapped. How to find. View your YouTube Wrapped.
Viewing your YouTube Wrap is really easy to do. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do it. So without further ado, the first thing you're going to do is when you're on the YouTube website, we actually don't want to go there. We want to go to Google and you just want to type in the words video recap like so. When you type this in.
Okay, video recap. Video recap. YouTube Wrapped. 2024 rewind. Sign in with Google. We'll do my personal account. Continue. We'll need a copy of your YouTube report. Alright, so open the new tab, Google Takeout. Let's set JSON for history. Where's history? Ah, there we are. JSON for history. Can't find YouTube Wrap for me, but I already looked at it. Gotcha. I have to recommend Problematic. Problematic's good, yeah. What did it tell you to do? Thanks for the suggestion. Oh, it's I basically looked up how if you do video recap and type that into a Google search, there'll be a link that basically walks you through the tutorial on how to get it. YouTube gaming recap, and fiddly enough, this was my most viewed gaming channel. Hey, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. All right. Optional recommended for better quality data. For all YouTube data included, select history. We just need history. I guess. It's fine. Select history. Okay, so just history. Select all. Select history. Okay. Continue. Click create export. Got it. 3 minutes, check your email and download the data report. Alright, so we'll wait a few minutes, and then I'll check my email. I checked my YouTube gaming recap, and Ectric was number 2. I'll take it. I'll take it any day. Trick, the only reason you weren't my most viewed was because I always put the number 1 channel whenever I went to bed. No worries. Completely understand. I was in his 0.1% of his subscribers. Nice. Alright, so while we're waiting for that YouTube stuff, I will get back to the actual task at hand. Let's see. So, this is the plan. Oh, the other thing is, in the behind the scenes, I kind of want to include the chat reader that I have currently running in Python. Speaking of, am I actually running it? I think I am. I am not. I am running it now. Alright, so text-to-speech should now work. But yeah, I basically want to switch it over into like running in the behind the scenes of this program. That way I can just like, when I first start the timer, it will just prompt me to like enter in the URL, and then it'll pull that so that I can actually just run it and be able to read the messages and not have to like do a infinite for loop, or infinite while loop rather, which is what I currently do. And so I want to try and implement that, but also at the same time, it seems like it might be a little bit too big of a thing, so I might just make a separate one where it's just the chat interactor, and I can just, you know, turn it on whenever I turn on the timestamp program, and then it will have like an interactive like text box where I can type in commands and stuff like that, and then I can make that as convoluted as I want, but it will be separate from the timestamp program, which seems like it might be the better option, just because this is gonna be like its own separate entity. It's gonna be doing its own thing. It's not gonna be as like I don't really need press a singular button and it does any of this. Like I don't need to press a singular button and have it play a TTS message or do like some sort of gambling game. Like I'm not going to be the one that's interacting with it. It's going to be like doing its own thing most of the time. So it doesn't really make sense to have it as part of the timestamp program, because it's not really relying on key presses as much as like entering in commands. So I think that would be better as its own thing, but I did want to include it here because originally I was thinking of adding it in the background. Apparently Doug's VOD channel was my number 1, and I never watch Doug VODs. They just come on while I'm sleeping because I always leave YouTube open. Fair. I do not sleep alone, so I can't usually leave on YouTube videos, but I'm curious what mine is. I'm really curious what my top YouTube was. It might actually be Kilted. I watched a lot of his. Well, that might be some recency bias, to be fair. I've been watching a lot of his videos lately, but he, for those who don't know, Kilted is a Risk YouTuber, and he posts every single day at 10 a.m. and I watch him every day at 10 a.m. because it is my comfort watch when I am starting my day at work. I still confused mainly because I ain't listening. No worries. Channel was number 2, and I watched 641 times more than the average view. I appreciate that, Solo. Although I gotta say, we gotta bump up those numbers of everyone else. Let's make Solo 100 times more than the average. I always have a YouTube video on in the background when I'm sleeping. That's why he's my number 1 game creator, and never have autoplay on because I don't want my recommendations all effed up. Fair. I turn off autoplay just because it's annoying to if I want to click a new video, it's annoying to automatically get pulled into the next video that might not be the one I want to watch next. Google data is ready to download. Download your files. Fine. Type in my password. All right. We download. All right. Now what? Let's check your emails and download the data report. Unzip the file. Upload watchhistory.json. Blah blah. All right. So, if we go to our downloads, we will extract here. And we want to do watch history. Upload watch history. Downloads. Take out history. Watch history. Open. No creators found. What the hell? No, damn it. Why did it do that? One moment, please. I don't know why it decided to move everything around and close, minimize all of my windows. Bop, bop. Bam. Need something that tells me that what my most replayed video was? I'm scared to know the answer. Fair. Thoughts on playing through Super Mario Party Jamboree? I do not own the game, so I cannot play that. And I'm trying not to spend a ton of money on video games. I've been trying to be good. Okay, so I don't know why that did not work. Upload watch history. Watch history. Open. No creators found. Open with Notepad. Let me pull that up here. There we go. Why is it? I mean, I got a crap ton of data here. It looks correct. Oh, it goes all the way back to 2020? Jesus. There's a whole lot of data here. This seems wrong, to be honest. It seems like there's not nearly enough data for how much YouTube I watch, but I don't know. Yeah, why is this not working? No creators found. This is an issue with missing data and Google Takeout. Make sure you uploaded the watch history JSON file. Try exporting the data. Try exporting the data again if you're still running into this error. Okay. Guess we're exporting again. Create another export. We're just doing YouTube. And YouTube music. Next step. Zip. Alright. Multiple formats. We're doing JSON. Okay. All YouTube data. We just are doing history. Okay. Next step. Export once. Send download link via email. Alright. And create export. Alright. Let's try it again. It's a new gacha game that dropped today, and I spent more time than I'd like to admit in its customization screen. That was me with Baldur's Gate when it first came out. I literally was like, I spent like an hour and a half on the character select screen the first time I played it. Absolutely ridiculous. Alright, let me get some coding done. I've wasted so much time on this already. Alright. So, what I was working on most recently is this screen is going to be how I edit the menus. So we're going to have a list of menus from this combo box. It's going to be like a drop down and have all of the different menus options. And if you click on that, it will switch what's in these boxes to whatever is on that menu, and then you can edit what's in that menu and then click the save button. Gacha in this game is weird because you don't pull for characters, you pull for clothes, and they're all so cute. Oh, nice. I kind of like that better. I feel like that's a better, a more ethical gacha aspect than the normal, like, oh, you can only get the really, really good characters if you spend hundreds of dollars trying to gamble for it. I'd rather it be you can still play the game just as well as anything else, but if you want to spend hundreds of dollars trying to get the, you know, optimal clothing for your character, then that's fine. Or you can just go with whatever you are lucky enough to get from regular, like, level ups and stuff like that. I feel like that's the most ethical version of, like, those pay to play ones. All I can think is I want these clothes and I don't know how to feel about them. I mean, I felt that same way in Animal Crossing. I would literally go through and buy every single option in the Able Sisters store that I didn't already have. I was a fashion icon. Alright, let's see. So, this is the behind the scenes. So, currently, I can get rid of this because it has no references. That was just a function for whenever this screen would load, it would run something. But this function also happens before it loads. Why is it not referenced? Oh, because I never called this form. That's why. Okay. I got nervous for a second that something was broken. But yeah, so basically this runs as soon as the form is created. So it doesn't. We didn't need the other one. The other one is redundant. So currently it creates this form. You enter in a list of all of the entries from, like, the main form and all of the screens in this case would be menus, and then whatever the current menu is, the ID for that menu is going to be entered in as well, so you know which one to start on. I should reword that because I think I got lost in translation. All I can think is I want these clothes IRL. Oh, that'd be cool. If you could if they create a store around okay, you can have these clothing that are in this video game in real life. That'd be dope. But yeah, getting back to the code, it sets all of these parameters as variables in this form. It takes these 10 combo boxes for the 10 button presses and just basically puts them into an array so that I can just, rather than having to type in combo box 0 every single time, I can just kind of calculate out which number I want. So I want the 0, but if I want the 0 buttons one, I can just use the 0 number and use this array rather than having to type out if the number is equal to 0, then use combo box 0 type of stuff. It's just a way to make it a bit easier to do things without having to manually type out everything. Neil, welcome to the stream. Main character is a girl and the clothes are all extremely not male clothes. Hey, listen. Guys are allowed to like pretty things too. And want to own pretty things. I don't have my rings because they're in my other pants, but I am a big fan of shiny little baubles. I have all of these dice over here. They're all shiny and fun and colorful and such. You can't see any of them, but that's okay. Yeah. Humans from time immemorial have wanted shiny little doodads and colorful clothes and pretty things, and I don't think that has anything to do with whether you are a guy or a girl. I wouldn't think too hard on it. How you doing? I'm doing just fine. Haven't coded anything yet, and we're 40 minutes in, but that's to be expected. All right, so basically this just initializes everything. Update combo box lists basically takes whatever menu was passed in and sets it so that all of these are preset to what the menu is currently saved as. So if it has number 7 is the possible intro moment timestamp button, it will auto-fill this combo box to have that as the entry for there, and then I can use the drop-down to switch it and stuff like that. I think it's a little different when I'm staring at a dress. So, dresses are cool, man. Alright. But yeah, so it just populates these 10 with the current iteration of the menu, and then also it also fills the other drop downs with all of the menus that are currently created, this one with all of the entries or shortcuts that are already created, and then just basically displays them on the menu. It basically just initializes the screen so that it is displaying the current menu correctly, and all of the drop downs as well. But the options then are to either mess with the menu, in which case this button will go from disabled to enabled so that you can save the changes whenever you press it. You can also exit out, and then if there are unsaved changes, it'll warn you and be like, hey, you have unsaved changes. Are you sure you want to exit? And you can either say yes, or do you want to save before exiting? It'll ask, and you can either say yes, I want to save, and it'll save before exiting. You can say no, I don't want to save, and it won't save before exiting, or you can click cancel and it will not exit, and it'll just keep the screen the same way. And then other than that, you can either create a new menu, You can rename the current menu, or you can delete the current menu, unless it's the main menu. I'm not going to allow that. Or you can do the same thing with whatever shortcut is currently selected. So you can create a new one. You can edit the current one, or you can delete the current one. Basically, just generic. This screen is just a generic edit the settings screen. Prompt form is, oops. Let's see, prompt form. This is just, they don't have a custom pop-up that allows you to enter in text, so I just created one. This is basically used whenever I need text entry for any sort of input. And then form 1 is the main form. This is what the screen is going to look like eventually. You have these buttons, and it'll show in text whatever that current button does. If it has a white background, it means it's going to be an entry that allows you to actually do a command. If it's got a blue background, it's going to be another menu, and if you were to click that, it would bring up the new menu. And if it has a dark gray background, it means it's a blank one that doesn't do anything. So if I press the 8 and this one is this color, it does nothing. And then of course you have the back button and the to main menu button, which will allow you to go back a menu or all the way to the main menu, respectively. Along the side, I want to have some buttons to mute all shortcuts, mute timestamps, and mute counters, because I have those 3. Oh, that's weird. Interesting. I don't know why that was not... Oh, there we go. I don't know why those were suddenly not wide enough. But yeah, so all shortcuts muted. There'll be a button for that. I could also make it... The problem is I wanted to make it so that there's a... you can make it into an entry. But if entries are muted, there's going to be no way to navigate to it once you do it. So I need to have a button on the side, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. Got Game of the Year 2024 right here. You can pet the dogs. Oh, let's go. Let's freaking go. Huge win. Huge win. But yeah, so want to have the those 3 buttons on the side here. It counts the total timestamps, the total commands. This text box here is going to have the most recent timestamp, or actually it might be the most recent command, because probably want to have that logged, not just timestamps. And then it has the same text boxes as the timestamp program, the save folder, the file name folder, and the current timestamp folder. But instead of having these buttons here, the log custom timestamp got moved over to here. Oh, you can't see my pointer. It got moved over to here. Let me fix that real quick. Properties, capture cursor. All right, so now you can see my cursor. So yeah, if we pull up timestamp program, this button over here got moved over to the log button over here. We obviously don't have a mute timestamps button yet, but it will be over here somewhere along the side. This one is now over here, the update shortcuts. I never use the pause button because it automatically desyncs the timer from the recorded file. I'm recording an MP4 of this stream right now to my computer. If I were to press the pause button, now this timer is no longer synced with the MP4. Like, I use the hello at the beginning of the stream to basically be like, this is when I started recording the video. This is when I started the stream itself. But if I were to pause this, anything after that, there will be some uncaptured amount of time. So I never use this anymore. I really only use the stop button at the end. But I could probably just make it so that this button, you click it, it says it switches from start to a stop button, and then whenever I click stop, it'll be like, are you sure you want to stop? And I can either click yes or no, and then it'll go. And then this one is new. This one is basically going to pull up a menu to allow you to change what the key presses are that match with the keypad. So if instead of wanting to use the numpad, I wanted to just use like some sort of like controller or something like that, I could remap those button presses to something else. Also, eventually, I want to include a sound effect soundtrack, like soundboard options, and I want to have like options to automatically loop sound effects versus playing it one time, or loop audio tracks versus playing them one time, that kind of thing. And those settings can also be edited in here eventually. But for now, I'm not going to include those because it's more work, and I want to get this running as soon as possible. What's a timestamp program? Oh, God. Let me go through the explanation again. Timestamp program is essentially this. Has a timer. Whenever I press a button on my keyboard that has a associated time shortcut, it logs the time, it logs the message, and writes it to a text file. I'm trying to expand that so that it will do other things other than just write a message to a text file with the timestamp. Currently, this program just does that. I want it to do that, plus also allow me to increment counters or switch OBS scenes, that kind of thing. Have we done any coding? No. Also, it's only been going for 53 minutes. Thank you very much. But, you know, quick 5-minute coding thing. It's fine. Alright, let me actually do some coding. So, what I was working on was... I was adding... what I was working on was adding in the option to, like, have it be able to go back menus. Because currently, the way I created the menu object, it did not contain any information about how to get back to the main menu from it. Wait, what is this all about? God damn it. This is why I haven't done any coding. I've been spaced out. Can you repeat every single word you've said since the start of the stream in the exact order? No. And luckily, I've been recording this whole thing. You can go back and watch. Watch at 2x speed and you'll catch up in half an hour. Actually, no, you'll catch up in an hour, because you'll have to catch up with the rest of the time. Actually, what is the... There's probably an equation. I'm not going to do it right now. I can't get sidetracked again. It is theoretically interesting, though, that if you were to start at a... If you have, like, a certain amount of time in a stream that you have to go back, how long until you catch up to the stream if you're watching at 2x speed. Catch up in an hour and you'll still have done zero coding. Shut up. I'm doing it now. I'm going, Mom. Alright, so, basically, until very recently, I did not have any way of knowing what the pathway was from the current menu to the main menu. And I really didn't have any way to be like, okay, if I want to go up a menu, where do I go? Like, what menu do I go to? So I added in this list of strings, which will be the menu path, and then each item in this list will be the ID of a different menu, and it will basically be like, okay, so if the main menu is the first one in the list, then the menu underneath that is the second one on the list, and then after that you just keep going until you get to this one, which would not be included in this list, but it is the ID. And essentially, if I were to click back while on this menu, it could just say, all right, go to whatever whatever the last item in this list is. So update menu path. The reason I added this is that if the menu has multiple options, like if I were, I have no safeguards against putting a menu multiple times in multiple different places. So if I have like one menu nestled in the main menu, but it's also nestled in another sub menu, I wouldn't know which one's which. So I'm basically going to just say whichever one gets you back to the main menu quickest is going to be the one that you use as the path. My memory just got wiped. Can you repeat everything about this thingamabob? Just go watch the stream. You guys are exhausting. You're trying to derail me. I see what you're doing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to code something. But yeah, so essentially, I'm just creating a, like, basically a map of how to get back to the main menu. And it's going to be the shortest possible path is going to be saved. And it's just going to go through that way if you click back. I don't know how I'm going to do this, though, because I could also do it where it saves, like, the current path that was used. I don't know. Like, I could have it where it, instead of just using whatever the menus path is, instead I could just save whatever path you went down in the first place. Like, if you press if you press 1-3, it could basically be like, okay, in a list, you have menu at button 1 in main menu at button 3 in the first menu, and then you can just have like you can just go back on that list and just, you know, work your way backwards. I don't know why. There was something that I thought of that made it so that it wouldn't necessarily be the optimal option. Not trying to distract you. I'm typing out really long messages that have slight possibility to distract you. Like, what's your favorite Dum Dum lollipop flavor? Mine is cotton candy. I haven't had a Dum Dum lollipop in so long I could not tell you, but if they have a cherry flavor, it was probably cherry. I'm trying to remember why that wouldn't. Oh, I remember why. I was thinking about adding in an option to set which menu it defaults to when you're starting. And if I were to do that, there's no way to know how to get back to the main menu. Like, if I'm like doing a specific stream where I know I'm going to be using like counters, for example. I know I'm going to be doing a lot of like counter pressing or something like that, but I don't have the counters on the main menu. It's going to be annoying to have to type, you know, 541, 541, 541, rather than just pressing like 1. They do have a cherry flavor, very yummy indeed. Yep, nice. Basically, I wanted to give myself a shortcut where I could just say, every time you reset, you do an entry, instead of defaulting back to the main menu, default back to this specific menu or something like that. And then I wanted to have a way to know where to go back to from there. I suppose I could just have just 2 main menu at that point. Genuinely, what's all this all about? Menus. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how if I want it to work that way or not. Like, I think it would be useful, but then again, maybe it's just easier to just type 3 things when I'm using it rather than... I think for now, I'm going to actually comment out all of that extra stuff with the menu path, because I think it's probably too much extra logic that invites problematic things. So we're just gonna... Whoops. Why? Edit. Where's the comment out button? Advanced. Control E. Okay. Oh, EC. Okay. There we go. So we comment that out. Control EC. We will comment out all this as well. All right. And then we will all right. Returning it. There we go. All right. That should remove all of the extra issues. Good stuff. All right. I'm leaving them in as comments in case I want to add it back in the future, but for now, I think I'm going to remove that functionality because it's too confusing. So I think instead, we will just have the backscreen IDs list be how we determine how to go back. So every time we go down a new menu, we will add in the current menu that was just used onto this list. And if you click the back button, it will just take the ID of the most recent entry onto this list, and it will navigate to that menu. So basically, it allows you to just go backwards the way you came. Unfortunately, you will only be able to go to the main menu every time you click an entry. So if you have a command that you're using a lot that is nested way deep, it's gonna have to you're just gonna have to press multiple buttons every single time you want to do it. But oh well. I am assuming that I'm going to very often put most things that I want to use often in not too far nested, so it will be at most like 2 presses for the most part. But for anything that's like useful with any regularity, but I'm assuming that pressing 2 buttons is less complicated than, you know, just adding all of that into the code. So with that, let's see. Currently, it starts the function. It sets up this is basically adding in a key press reader, and it runs the global hook key press function every time there's a key down. Currently, I have just like a... Here, I'll run it real quick. I'll show you. Currently, all this does is... well, nothing at the very moment. Oh, it's behind. I forgot. Oh. Never mind. It was not running yet. Okay, please run. Any day now. Oh, this is taking forever. There it goes. Alright, now... There we go. So... Oh, I know why it took so long. I needed to create all of the configuration files. So, basically... What the hell is that clicking noise? Whatever. Right now, main menu has nothing in it. It is a blank menu, so all of them are grayed out. As of this second, the only buttons that work are... well, none of the buttons are going to do anything. So, if you would type something, it prints it to this text file. I'm pressing the 1 key up top, which has the key code of D1, D2, D3, D4, all the way to 9 and then 0. This is the minus/_ button. This is the plus equals button. If these are all the letters and stuff like that. And so yeah, it knows which key you press whenever you press it, including shift keys, cap locks, and unfortunately I cannot show you the numpad because that will switch my OBS scene. But if I were to press, actually, you know what, I'm going to press it real quick and then I'll switch back the screen to show you what happened. I'm going to press the 0 button on the numpad, which will bring me to full screen. That's the current key. Yeah, see? So I pressed the 0. In OBS, it brought me there. If I put it here, it says numpad 0. So that's the format of the key code. It would be numpad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the rest of them. The plus sign is called add. And then the decimal is called decimal, I think. This is going to bring me to the short screen, but I will bring it right back. Yeah. So it says decimal. So basically right now, this function just prints whatever the last button pressed key code is to the text thing. This was just so I can know which ones to write into this function. So currently, we need to, let's see, yeah, shortcut codes. That's what we need. So we need to pull, so I added in those key code names as the button presses in the config file. So shortcut codes currently are split from the config file when we load the program, so that now it is an array of, you know, all of these strings that are separated by commas. Squirrel grooming animation is my favorite. You sneak up on them, pick them up by the back, and just start walking them. That's cute. That's really cute. But yeah, so essentially, currently I have what I want to use as my buttons defaulted in when it creates the config file. But I could theoretically change those eventually. But for now, we will just have it be reading in the shortcut codes. So anytime it reads shortcut 0, it's going to do the 0 button. Whatever's at the 0 button on the current menu. If not commands... What the hell? The hell was that? I don't know why that did that. Is commands muted? Yeah, commands muted is a thing. So if commands muted, we're just going to return without doing anything because we're not doing any commands. That was a weird thing to happen. I don't know why I did it. I forgot. Semicolon is possible thumbnail, which is going to be a lot in this stream because semicolons are a staple of C# coding. Oops. Oh well. So right now, if commands are muted, it does nothing. We'll comment this out because it's not useful. So we're going to do Control EU. Get rid of this. We're going to do a for loop through all of the shortcut codes. Dot length. It's going to say... Oh, no. What we got to do is... -2. So if it's going through, essentially, let's just do 10. We know how many shortcut codes there are. There's 12. So if it's anywhere from 0 to 9, if e.keycode dot toString dot equals shortcut codes of I. So basically it's saying if the key code that was just typed is equal to what is that shortcut, in the shortcut codes array at the current number index, it'll start at 0 and go all the way through 9. So basically we'll say it's I is equal to 0. If whatever key code is equal to the first keypad shortcut, in this case it's going to be numpad 0. Oops. We need a front curly bracket. Then we will run the command on the menu of the current button. Run command / go to new menu at button. So, and that'll work for all 10 buttons. It'll check through all 10 to see if it matches any of them, and it will run the command if the key code matches the shortcut. Doodle, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Supposed to be catching a bee, but instead I'm just running around watching every animal I see. The animations are so cute. That sounds fun. I like that. But yeah, so essentially it's going to run the command or go to a new menu at the button. If it matches. And then after that it will return, because it cannot match more than one, so it doesn't need to keep going and keep searching. It can save some time by just stopping as soon as it gets there. If it gets through all 10 of those without matching any of those, we can check if it matches number 11. Or I guess index 10 technically. If index 10, this is going to be the back button. Go back one menu. If not on main menu, because you obviously can't go back past the main menu. And then else, that means, oh, no, not else. We do another return after that. Oops. What the hell? Is backslash a shortcut? Apparently. Gotta get rid of that eventually. Oh well. Alright. So that's good. Return. And then if it matches 11, go back to main menu. Return. All right. So that's what's going to happen. If it's any of the 10 normal buttons on the keypad, you will run the command. If it's a command, you'll go to the new menu. If it's a menu button, and if it's a blank one, it'll do nothing, obviously, and return. If it's none of those buttons, but it is the back button at index 10, it will go back one menu, unless it's on the main menu, in which case it'll do nothing, and it'll return. And if it's not any of those 10 buttons, and it's not the back button, but it is the main menu button, it'll just go straight back to the main menu, and then end it off. That is the play. Now I just actually have to put the logic of what it'll do. All right. So we need to get the current menu, which is current menu. Beautiful. Current menu. Dot items. I dot status equals 1. So if status equals 1. So for each button, if we go all the way down to keypad button, basically the button can either be a keypad screen if it has the status of 1. It can be an entry if it has the status of 0, or it can be blank if it has the status of -1. So in this case, we're saying if the status is 1, that means it's a menu. Where was I just typing? There it is. That means we need to go to, we need to set the current menu, set current menu to, per menu dot items I dot ID. There we go. Need to take a break from this game before my heart explodes from cuteness. Marvel Rivals time. Nice. Good luck. Else if cur menu dot items of I dot status equals 0, you will run command of entry with ID of that menu with ID of that, else it's blank, do nothing. So if it's status 1, that means it's a menu. Set the current menu to the current menus, the current button that was just pressed, the ID of that button. Otherwise, if it's status 0, that means you need to run a command at that ID. Oh, and then also set menu back to main menu. Gorgeous. And then end. Otherwise, do nothing because it's a blank. In this case, we are going to go back one menu. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to essentially create a function that updates the menu. Basically updates these buttons. That's the next thing we need to do, is we need to create a function that updates these buttons with whatever the current menu is. Because we can set the current menu, obviously. But it's not going to display anything new unless we update it. Actually, do we already have an update menu button? Update UI. Oh, look, we do. Update UI. Look at that. Okay. We still need to set the current menu to the correct thing. Good stuff. We have entries, we have screens. Okay, got it. Let's see, what other functions do I have that I'm forgetting about? Get used IDs, that's not useful for me right now. Screen index by ID. That's what we need. Okay. Cool. Oops. Good. So, no, darn it, I didn't save it correctly. Or didn't copy it. There we go. So, for this one, we just need to set the menu to set current menu equals screens of screen index by ID. This gets the index in the screens list of the screen by the ID. And it's cur menu dot items of I dot ID. There we go. Update UI. Oh, let's see. Back screen IDs dot add cur menu dot ID. So it adds the current menu's ID to the back screen IDs, because if you press the back button after switching to this menu, you want to get back here. You will then set the current menu equal to that ID that we have at the current button, and then it will update the UI so that it actually displays it correctly. That should be good, right? That's all it needs to do. Nothing extra. All right. And then for this one, run command of entry with ID of current menu. Okay. We need the get entry by ID, or entry index by ID. That's the one. So this one is okay. So we got this. Oops. There we go. Perfect. So this is the index, so we need entries of that. And then we need to execute entry. And we execute that entry. We run the command. Then we backscreen IDs dot clear cur menu equals screens 0 update UI. Yeah, screen 0 is always going to be screens 0 is always going to be the main menu. So we're all set there. We can also copy this for this section, because that's the same function. Technically, I could make a function that just does that, but it seems a little bit too much effort for, getting 6 lines down to 2, plus the 4 that it would require to make a new function. So it's really not cutting down on the number of lines you're doing anyway. Alright, so that one's all good. This one, obviously, you don't need to do anything. This one, we're gonna do okay. I'm gonna copy this. Except instead of using this, we're going to use the ID of back screens, screen IDs of screen IDs.count -1. So that's getting the last entry in the back screen IDs list. And then getting the screen of that index and setting its current menu. We're going to also back screen IDs dot remove at remove at that one. There we go. That'll remove the most recent one. And we go back 1. And then return. Perfect. All right, so that should all work. if we go forward one, here, what we'll do to test this out is we will do the same function, except it's going to be there we go. So we're going to set the text file, or the text of that text box, to blank colon whatever key code we just entered in, if it's a button. And then, if not on main menu, that's the one thing we need to do. If backscreen IDs dot count is greater than 0, or equals 0, we return. Good. Otherwise, it does that. Okay, cool. The reason I added that was that if we were to click the back button while on the main menu, it would try to go back a screen, but it would there would be nothing in the back screen IDs list. And so trying to get the -1 index of that list would cause an error, and it could cause the program to crash. So just need to make sure that it doesn't try to go back when it's already on the main menu. But yeah, so all of that should be good. We will add in back to main menu. Cool. All right, so we're gonna run this, and if I press any of the numpad keys 0 to 9, it should print into that text box blank colon space whatever the key code was. And if I press the dot, the period, it should type back to main menu colon decimal. So we'll do 0 real quick. Go back to the menu. It did not work. Fascinating. Interesting. Okay. Why didn't it work? We're getting a trash can raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Welcome in, Pseudo-Wudont. Love that name still. Jewel, welcome in. She-Wolf, good to see you. More Rush. Trash Can, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. I hope you're doing well. What were you doing tonight? What were we playing? Gerald as well. Thank you so much for coming in on that raid. For those of you who are new here, my name is Ectric. I'm a PokeTuber by trade, but I also do a bunch of other stuff, like Zelda, Baldur's Gate, Wii Sports speedrunning, and coding streams, because I am actually a software engineer as my full-time job. And on the side, I do enjoy making myself some programs that help out with the streaming. So every once in a while, I'll do a stream where I just do some coding for some sort of project related to the channel, and just kind of explain what my thought process is for anyone who's interested. We kind of just chill and chat while I'm working, and I don't get nearly as much work done as I would if I were just doing this silently, but I also get to hang out with you and not be alone. So it's fun. But thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Hope you're excited for the weekend coming up soon. And I hope that you will stick around, maybe like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you have not. But regardless, I hope that you have a good time while you're here. Shiny Hunting Deoxys and Fire Red. Oof. Still. Reached 3K tonight. I mean, I shouldn't say still. It takes a long time. That makes sense. I'm just surprised because I know you were doing that last night as well. You've been on that grind a lot lately. I'm impressed. I do like one stream every 2 months. Who cares? Holy cow! Welcome in. C Sharp, awesome. I'm a dev myself. I too use C Sharp, Java, PHP, and many other languages. Awesome to hear, man. Thank you so much for the $10 donor. Let's seriously get some major hype for Who Cares. Really, really appreciate that support, my friend. And yeah, I love me some C Sharp. If you go back and do some of the other coding streams, it's mostly been in Python so far. But I love working in C Sharp with some WinForms stuff for my actual programs. If you look over here, this is the original timestamp program that I created back in 2018, I think. And it has worked like a charm ever since. I use it for every stream. Yeah, it works great, and I love it. I learned it when I was doing an internship, because they had us doing, had me doing creating a program to basically do image recognition on, what are they called? Mammogram images. I was doing a internship at a biotech company, and they have had a really good mammogram device that did really great imaging, and they wanted to have like automated like testing of the images to confirm that like the correct like text was being displayed in the correct spot and stuff like that. Sir Ralph McCutts, thank you so much for coming in on that raid as well. Got gifted at some point? I forget. It probably was Ash, if I had to guess. Taking comp sci classes. I do Java for class, but I'm coding my own video game in Python. Nice, Jewel. Nice. I actually, I had an idea for a board game, but I thought the more I thought about it, the more complicated it became, because nothing can be simple. I have to make it complicated. The more complicated, the more I realized it might work better as a video game. So I'm thinking about actually trying to code that at some point. That's down the line though. Basically, I had the idea of, I was thinking about how like in certain religions, like prophecy is a really important thing. And how some people, despite the fact that like the prophecy is supposed to be like, oh yeah, they predicted this, you know, thousands of years ago, they'll also like actively try to make it happen, which kind of seems like it defeats the purpose. Oh yeah, this book predicted that I was going to punch myself in the face at 12:52 a.m. on this date. How did they know? You know, it made me interested, but the thought I had with that was, it'd be really cool if there's a board game where at the beginning of the game you made predictions about the end state of the game, and then you had to play the game while trying to have those outcomes happen, and trying to actively try to create the situations where those things would happen, to make it so that your you know, your quote unquote holy book is seen as more like valid, like it's seen as like more impressive and more persuasive because it has all of these prophecies that came to pass. And I thought it'd be really cool to come up with a, like, have like everyone has their own predictions, like they're their own quote unquote holy book, and they all try to change the like different aspects of the game so that that, you know, these things happen at this time, or at the end of the game, this, you know, this country will have control over this piece of land or something like that. Sounds really, really interesting. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was a cool idea. And I think I think it's a really, really fun idea. The problem is I immediately went, okay, so I need to create a full map. I need to create an economic system. I need to create, like, I basically was like, okay, how many different things could I possibly create a faux world of? It got more and more complicated, and then I was sitting there drawing my own version of the United States map with new states that were like funny versions, and then I was like, this is a lot. I should probably do some of the project that are a little bit more feasible to finish in a short amount of time. Sounds like a game my family and I would play. Awesome. I definitely would love to make it someday. I had the idea and I thought it was really cool. I'm glad to hear that it's not just me. Sounds like Underland Chronicles in a sense. I've never heard of that. What is that about? But yeah, getting back to the program at hand for tonight, I have this timestamp program. It basically reads my keystrokes, and every time one of the keystrokes that I have a set shortcut for is pressed, for example, the N button, it shows that there's an intro moment. It says possible intro moment. It prints that along with the exact time on the timer that's been running, and then it prints it to a text file at the save folder, in the save folder at the file name.txt. And it works like a charm. I can mute it so that it doesn't log any timestamps while the button is clicked, but then it will log them again once you press it again. I can log custom timestamps with this button. And then if I were out of this, I could set the timestamp shortcut keys so that different buttons do different things. The problems with it is I have other programs that also read keystrokes, and it's inefficient to have multiple programs running at the same time, all reading keystrokes. It takes up way too much of my desktop space having them open. So I want to try and have one program that does all of the keystroke reading. The other thing is currently it just reads anytime one singular button is pressed, and that's fine and dandy when I'm pressing a random character that I don't use very often. But if I have any of those keys be like a letter, for example, the N button to do possible intro moment, if I'm ever typing something, like when I'm coding, and I say function, for example, I'm going to just type that out right now and let's look at the screen. So F-U-N, oh, that's a timestamp. C, oh, that's a timestamp. T-I-O-N. There's like 5 or 6 timestamps right there. None of which are useful, because I didn't actually need to know that there were 2 possible intro moments within 3 seconds, a cut out, or a cut in before a cut out, and a curse. I did not curse. All of that does not work very well because it's just reading anytime I press any of these buttons. So the idea was to switch over to this one. Oh, god damn it, it did it again. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's really annoying. Minimize that. I hate it that it keeps doing that. It's really annoying. Pop that open. Oh, yay. Yay. And pop you open. There we go. But yeah. The new idea is to, instead of having all of the buttons being read, it's just going to have a numpad, which I currently use for my OBS shortcuts to switch to different scenes. It's going to have numpads and different menus. So the main menu will be this, and then if I press 0, it might go to a different menu. It might do an actual command. Essentially, it can either it'll be like nested menus, and I can just navigate just with the keypad, the plus sign and the decimal point, rather than having the whole keyboard that I have to worry about. It'll just be these, and then any of those I can type over, just up here, because it's a different button press, and I don't have to worry about accidentally triggering timestamps or whatever other command. It also allows me to, if I want to increment a timer, I can add that as a command. I recently figured out how to use Python to switch OBS scenes and toggle, the mute on my microphone or something like that. So I can create a command to automatically switch to a scene. So I can have more options for switching scenes in OBS rather than the single hotkeys built into OBS, that kind of thing. It's going to be very, very versatile, but it's also much more convoluted than this program, which is very, very simple. So that's what I'm working on. Sounds like a game. All right, I read that one. It's a book series centered around an 11, 12-year-old, depending on the book, boy who's central to these group of prophecies. In one of the latter books, one of the main characters reveals that he doesn't believe in the prophecies for similar reasons to what you stated. They kind of just make it happen. Oh, cool. That's cool to know that, you know, I didn't have a unique thought. That's good. Sounds interesting. I might have to check it out at some point. Anyway, getting back to the program. Currently, I was testing out that the hotkeys press button function was working correctly, and it didn't. So I'm curious why that happened. Trash Man, thank you so much for lurking, my friend. I really appreciate it. Really good series, same author as The Hunger Games. Oh, really? Oh, I love her books. Definitely have to check it out then. All right, so I'm going to mute my timestamps so I don't have more timestamps coming in while I type. We're going to say timer label dot text equals shortcut codes of 0. I just want to see what's going on in shortcut codes. Actually, I don't think I even need to do that. But we'll do it anyway. There we go. Pull that up. So if I press any button, yeah, numpad 0. And if I... Oh, is it supposed to be... Is numpad capitalized? That might be it. That might be the problem. I might have the capitalization wrong. Real quick. We're going to start this up again. My current C# project I'm working on is a bit crazy. I have 12 home servers running Docker containers. My C# program authenticates to my LDAP API I wrote using PHP. From there, I can create new Docker containers from within my C# program. That is quite crazy. That is way above my pay grade. I am a biomedical engineer who cosplays as a coder. I understood most of those words. All right, so let me test this again. So we're doing. It's gonna go full screen for a second. I apologize. Yeah. See, so what happens is it's looking for numpad 0 with a lowercase p. But it's getting numpad 0 with an uppercase P, so it's not actually matching. So it's never actually getting in there. So I need to change those presets in my config file, which is not too hard to do. We just go find that function over here, bin, debug, config.txt, and we just capitalize those P's. Good stuff. Nice. All right, so that should be good. I'm also going to capitalize them in the code itself because if I ever need to create a new config file, I want it to be created correctly and not have to go through the same problem solving next time. There we go. Whoops. No, damn it. There we go. Got it. Bigger plan in mind. Essentially, I'm trying to build myself an automated build server, so whenever I wrote code for people, I can create containers on a whim and deploy code to it. Ah, okay. See, I am a sucker for a good automation process. At a certain point, I created a whole set of programs that I could run to automate my short making process. Basically, I had it so that I would automatically, I would just basically pull the what would I do? Oh, I would pull the audio of my streams and stuff like that, and I would essentially automatically like pull the times that I had stated into I would create like small MP3 files of like all of the audio. I would pull it into Audacity and be able to uh, essentially comment it or like subtitle it in Audacity, and then I would have a program that would pull it in, pull in the notes from the Audacity file, create it, turn it into markers in After Effects, which is what I use to create shorts because I don't like using Premiere for some reason. It would basically pull in the information from the note. It would create markers at the exact time that it would need to on the program. It would create a text layer that automatically switched between like different sections of the text depending on when the marker happened, and it would automatically like subtitle these clips, and then like also log them into an Excel file to like keep notes on which ones I had done and which ones I had not done yet and stuff like that. Like I had this whole system programmed out to automate it, and then I realized that creating shorts for every single possible clip is very inefficient, and I just started creating shorts of just the clips I was actually going to immediately post, which saved some time and made it obsolete to actually have the automation. And then also I stopped posting shorts. So, you know. But for a while, I really enjoyed the automation. I'm hop off tonight. No worries, Doodle. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hope you have a good night, and hope to see you soon. All right, let's try this again. We're going to start the program again. There we go. And once again, it's going to go full screen for a second because my hotkey is in OBS. But this time, it says blank, numpad 0. You'll love to see it. All right. If we do decimal, it should say back to main menu, decimal. And I'm going to have to switch screens again. There we go. Back to main menu, decimal. You'd love to see it. All right, so that function is working. We love to see it. We love to see it. All right, so all of that works. That means that if I... the only thing I need to include in that is a real quick check if it is actually logging first. Because if it's not logging, we don't care about any of this. Also, we can comment out these. Commands muted or not logging. Return. Perfect. All right. All right. We do not need these print statements. Good. All right. So next, what should I do? I should probably update the execute entry functions because I originally had coded a decent amount of this for using barcode scanner to do this, and a lot of it transferred over before I switched to using the numpad, but some of it did not, so I need to make sure that all of this will still work. So I can, let's see. Excuse me. So for now, I decided I was going to take out the sound effects because it's too much extra effort. We're not doing any of the shortcut enabled or anything like that, so we can get rid of that. These ones are not included currently because I don't need them. This is the OBS macros. You like numpads more than the top number keys? So specifically for using timestamps, or like not for using timestamps, for using like hotkeys, I find that the numpad is like sectioned off enough that it's like really easy for me to see it as like, okay, whenever I'm streaming, I only use these for doing stream things, because it also helps that I've used these num keys, or the numpad for my OBS hotkeys forever. So I already have the instinct of don't use numpad while on stream. So essentially I just figure I might as well co-opt that, but make it more versatile so that rather than having, only access to only, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 possible hotkeys, I can have infinite because it'll be nested menus. It just means I'll have to press sequences of buttons rather than just one, which I'm okay with. I can memorize numbers. Memorizing numbers is one of my fortes. Alright, let's see. So, random line from text file to text file. Okay, so this is the card flip one. Yeah. That one's fine. This one is the counter one. This is the timestamp one. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Run command line of args entered by user. Alright, cool. Yeah. Alright, so all of the execute entry looks like it still works well. A lot of this actually looks pretty decent. Oh, you know what I probably should do? Have this actually do something. Have this button actually open up the update shortcuts menu. Or the update shortcuts form. USF. Close new. Entries. Screens. Current menu .id. USF.show dialog. Alright, so this is going to pull up that menu where you can update all of the menus and stuff like that. Once it does all of that, you're going to set entries .clear. Yeah, this is fine. Entries.clear, screens.clear, whoops. Screens.clear. And then we're gonna say US or entries dot add range of USF dot entries. Did I make those private? Bet I did. I did. Okay. Public. Let's fix that real quick. Public. And then no, we just need to set it to main menu. It doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. Alright. To array. Perfect. I'm cooking. Third match I had MVP and went 13-0. Dang, GG's. Would love to stay longer, but gotta sleep. Gotta wake up tomorrow to go to work. Have a good one. No worries. I probably should go to bed soon too. I have work in the morning as well. But thank you so much for joining in. I really, really am glad to have you in here. Thank you so much for the dono as well. Truly wonderful talking to you, and I hope to see you around again soon. Hawkeye is just better Hanzo, and I love it. That's awesome. I'm not familiar enough with Hanzo to know exactly. I know it's Overwatch, but I don't remember which character that one is. I don't even know if I had access to Hanzo. Screens dot add range. Nope. Add range. USF dot screens dot to array. There we go. Menu equals screens 0. Update UI. Is there anything else that it did when it went back to main menu? Oh, right. Here's the back screens ID. I don't know that that's going to be an issue because I think I might disable the update shortcut keys while it's logging. All right. We'll do it anyway. Both archers except Hawkeye actually has an ability to help with flankers. Well, with Hanzo, you have one chance at a headshot when you get flanked. If you miss, you're dead. Hawkeye at least has crazy sword swing that also knocks enemies back. Oh, cool. That's useful. All right. So that's all set there. Alright. So that's all good there. I'm actually closer than I thought I was. I thought I had a ton more to do, but really, all I have to do is create a form that for the update settings button. Basically, if I click this button, I need a form to pop up, and it needs to be able to. Oh, the other thing is I need to. If I click new shortcut or edit shortcut, I need a form that pops up to enter in all of the details for that. So, basically, you need to create 2 forms, and then add in the correct hooks. Plus, since the game is brand new, it's super easy to find games. Yeah, that's always something that I'm like worried about with like the games I like. Like, what if I get to the point where these games are no longer popular? Granted, most of the games that I play that are like, online stuff like that are, stand the test of time, like Rocket League. I don't see that going unpopular anytime soon. Party Animals is what I'm a little bit more worried about, but, it's still fun. But yeah, I think with that, I probably will end it off because we only have those 2 forms, the hooks, and then just testing the hell out of it. Testing the hell out of it will probably take a long time. I don't expect that I'm immediately going to have a functioning program, but for the time being, I don't know that it's necessarily. It could be as simple as it just works, but it could also be like, going in every nook and cranny, there's like a million bugs. So that's always the worry with coding, is that you get to the point where you're like, okay, this should work, and then it just doesn't, and you have to figure out why. That's the part that like can get really tedious. But for the time being, we're still in the building everything and hoping it works at the end section. So we will build those other two things another day. I might do it off stream. Probably will do it off stream, but we'll see. For now, though, I'm going to save this up. We're all saved, and we are going to find ourselves a raid target to pass on the love. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was fun. I always enjoy the coding streams, even if I don't make too much progress like I didn't today. I just happened to already be closer to finishing than I thought I was. But we did make some progress. We did do some stuff, which was good. Oh, I also have to add the mute buttons on the main screen. That'll be easy, though. But yeah, so we are going to go and find ourselves a raid target, so don't go anywhere just yet. I do hope that you had a fun time here, though. If you didn't even not yet like the stream and subscribe to the channel, consider doing so you can catch every single one of these as they come out. Let's see. What are we thinking? Do we want to do Donkey Bond playing some Fortnite? Could do Red Deathman just playing some Rocket League. Just speak of the devil. Ooh, he's winning too. Let's go. Ooh, I wonder what level he is. He looks like he's probably... He looks like he's about my skill level. Oh. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. I kind of want to go raid Red Deathman. Now I'm just watching Rocket League. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Red Deathman. All right, let's see. Let's go pass on the love to Red Deathman. With a hashtag Ectric raid. Let's pause the music. So we're gonna go and raid Red Deathman, playing some Rocket League with a hashtag Ectric raid. Thank you again for joining me tonight. I hope that I will see you in another stream soon. I don't think I will be streaming tomorrow. It's very likely that I have my normal Friday night gaming with my college buddies and will not be able to stream. But if it turns out that I don't, I will probably play some sort of Pokemon game. Maybe do some shiny hunting in Emerald or PLA. And then Saturday, I think I will be streaming. Oh, that sucks. Scored on himself. But yeah, I think on Saturday I probably will have a stream. Not sure what it'll be yet. We'll have to see though. Regardless though, I hope to see you in the next stream. And until then, I will see you over in Red Deathman's chat with a hashtag Ectric raid. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. And until the next stream, bye.